Welcome to the worst show. Cause it's the worst show. Yeah. Okay, cue it. Hey. What's up, guys? It's Kyle the Worst. This is the worst show. I'm with my co-host, Terrence Moon. And we got sorry.
Clap, damn it.
And yeah, we got a really special podcast for you today. I'm going to let Terrence kind of take the reins on this one. It's two of his close friends. Super awesome people. Can't wait for you guys to get to know them.
Yeah, you kicked it over to me, and I'm just going to kick it straight over to them.
Let's go. And Tyler, you're the older brother. See,
Start it off.
Take
Start
the
it off.
lead.
All right, jumping into the pool. All right, my name is Tyler Armstrong. That's my younger brother, Jared. We're going to probably talk about kind of the stuff that we do, you know?
Stuff that you do, and
Yeah.
just you guys pretty much feel like your life together, like growing up. Like, how was it?
Yeah.
Like, where are you guys from? First, sorry.
I'm
You-
Jared
you-
Mitchell Armstrong. I'm happy to be here. I also love the name of your podcast and how this is like my first podcast and it's called The Worst.
Yeah, it's
podcast.
low expectations,
Yeah.
but high
Yeah, that's
results.
cool.
That's what I love about
Yeah,
it.
it's cool.
It's quite the
That's
dichotomy.
cool. I don't want to be on the
Dude,
best
listen,
podcast. I want to be on
I'd
the worst
never know if you
podcast.
use that word in the right context.
Dichotomy?
Yeah.
It's just contrast. It means opposites.
Okay.
It's just my favorite word, so I use
Yeah,
it
that's
a
what I'm
lot.
saying. It's like, I just got to fact check him sometime.
Like the Ebonics thing we talked about yesterday.
Yeah. He's racist. Go ahead.
Yeah, so what
All
do you
right,
do?
Well, yeah, I kind of started my own little side hustle, I guess you could say. I buy and sell vintage decor, furniture, clothes. I've been doing clothes for probably almost 10 years. It's kind of when Jared and I kind of both started having an interest in clothes, and then all of a sudden clothes became so mainstream and super hard to find. So I
Yeah.
kind of transitioned over to
So you've been selling clothes for 10 years, you would
rare
say? Or
decor.
just-
On eBay, yeah, dude. I
Oh,
was doing
that's crazy.
eBay.
I didn't know that.
Way back, yeah, way
Mhm.
back. And
Interesting.
then fees started happening with eBay and whatnot. And then like you gotta really stay on top of it to like have your post at the top. And so I kind of fell off with posting things here and there. So
Consistency.
then all of a sudden I just started saving up all this stuff, and then now I kind of transitioned into owning my own little
Yeah.
side business, and it's been great. So
Yeah.
and that's Retro Studio 92
I was about to say, what
Yeah.
shout it out. Come
for
on.
the Instagram, yeah. And then I got a booth at Midway. That is Midway Antique Mall, booth number 34. It's got black walls. You can't miss it.
Hell yeah. I love that place too.
Yeah,
Super dope.
Right,
it's
it's a
massive.
great place.
It takes hours to walk through, but
Yeah, you
Yeah,
find
so
some-
I've never
you'll
been there.
definitely
Is it
find
that-
what
it's
you
like-
want.
It's that big?
Oh, it's
dude, it's massive.
Really?
I think
like
it might be the
individual
largest
rooms.
in Missouri.
Yeah,
I think that's what the
square
billboard
foot-wise.
says.
Yeah.
And they got like little camera sections. It's super crazy.
Hmm.
Like vintage cameras, all kinds of
I need
stuff
to go
like that.
sometime. I've never
Yeah,
been.
they got a bunch
We'll
of
go.
gnarly stuff.
We can
Yeah,
go on
man,
a
you
day.
need a whole
Okay.
day though. Honestly,
You need to
Like,
just go to
3 or
booth,
4 hours
34.
to.
And then you can stop
Like,
by that
actually
151
dive through and
furniture
just
afterwards.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
right there.
Yeah.
It's ginormous.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, I'm a clothing designer, footwear designer. My beautiful girlfriend Kaylin is sitting behind the camera. Her and I run our upcycle clothing business called Yvonne and Mitchell. We have been doing that now for 5 years.
It's been 5 years already?
Yeah.
Isn't
that
that nuts?
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's what I was telling
we
you about.
started-
Like, he is still doing
Yeah.
following his passion.
Consistency.
That's
Right?
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
We started here in Columbia. We met our sophomore year of college, and we just both shared interest in personal style. Being here together, one of our favorite things to do on the weekend was go thrifting, and we just kind of saw the need to. Well, actually, just being on campus, like a lot of our friends would be like, "Oh, where'd you get this? Where'd you get that?" And we started selling vintage clothing, kind of like what Tyler's doing now. But after about a year or two of that, I decided that for us to kind of differentiate ourselves from the crowd, that I would like rework these things and do more upcycled pieces. Our mother taught me how to sew when I was a freshman in high school, and my skills just kind of got better and better throughout college, and now we're selling one of one upcycled pieces.
Actually, I have a question.
And then
do you how long do you think, like looking back on like your life, how long do you think you've had like that interest for like how long have you wanted to make clothing?
Okay, yeah,
No,
I was, I
let
was
me
gonna.
take this. Jared has been super creative his entire life.
Yeah.
Basically, he started like designing cars and
Yeah,
shoes. Man, he would
totally.
just sit there and draw cars and shoes all day long, which
That's
is
crazy.
it's insane. It's insane knowing that like man, that's what I remember him like. You know, like 6 years old, like 7 years old, just
Designing
a
cars and
journal
shit.
of just shoes, like Nike shoes, man. He just
Do you
sketch all of
remember
them
that?
out, or
Yeah,
he
yeah.
loved like he had like this GameCube. You guys remember GameCube, dude?
Absolutely.
He had like what was it,
Absolutely.
Need for Speed or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
he
I wouldn't
would
even
cus-
race. I would just
he would
customize
just
the cars.
customize all the whips on
That's
there.
all you would do.
That's
You
all
set
he
them
would
out
do.
for
Yeah.
him to play
That's
with.
all he would do.
That's
And it
awesome.
was you could already tell that something was gonna spark at some point. So
Yeah, man. Honestly,
to
going
this.
back,
It's crazy.
going back to those days, like, so we have an older brother, Ryan, and he was always the super driven, super like,
to the books,
yeah,
to the
just
rules.
yeah, super
Very.
smart, super meticulous. There's another word you can look up and make sure I'm using it right.
No,
Fact
But
check.
that's
Somebody
I
right.
think
Context,
so.
I got you.
But yeah, so I got that part of my personality from Ryan, but Tyler, my entire life was just like I just looked up to him for how he carried himself and the style that he always had, and that was just something I always looked up to him for. And anything I do that's like design related, style related, clothing related, it all goes back to him being this badass little kid with long hair going to these small like screamo concerts and just wearing outrageous shit and skateboarding and just honestly being a little badass. And I don't know. I thought it was just the coolest thing. That was never really me. When him and his friends were doing those crazy things, I was like, you know what, guys, I think I'm gonna stay back. But I just
He sat
I
and
really
observed and learned
I
from
really
it, I
cherish
think.
those moments. And
The younger one always gets that, like they get to view
Yeah.
what the other brothers
Yeah.
are doing, and then they can
You
take
learn
and,
from it.
and pick what
Right.
they think is so cool, and then take with them, and then they can
Right.
kind of like create their own style and persona.
yeah, so anything that I do that's design related, style related, it all comes back to Tyler, and the consistency that we were talking about and the passion behind it all comes from our oldest brother Ryan.
Yeah.
And I mean, our mom has played a huge role in our lives. We lost our father when we were fairly young. I was 9 years old. You
I was
were
13.
you were 13, and I think that really just kind of changed our perspective, all three of our perspectives, just on life and what we want out of it. And yeah, and I don't know. So we all have that creative bone in us, and that all kind of comes from our mother too. She's a very creative
And
person.
she was super supportive of
Very
absolutely
supportive.
everything.
Gave
I mean,
us-
if I wanted to do something, I could do it. It was
Right.
never like you can't do it.
Yeah.
It was like yeah, go for it. Yeah, let's
That's
do
how it
it.
should be.
Gave
like-
us so much freedom.
Yes.
Like this guy was at
I-
college, and I was 14, 15 years old, and I would go up and visit him, and I would be hanging out, going to the college parties, and just
I drugged
just
this dude along,
bad,
man.
yeah,
Like a good brother should.
right,
Dude.
yeah, but
Dude, I could go through all these stories, but we might have to save that for another time. Because, damn.
but yeah, that all that stuff made me who I am, made us who we are, and that's why we're here today doing what we do. And I don't know, man.
The fact that we broke the norm in a very small town,
Yeah.
I feel like that is
Right.
what is so.
Yeah, I guess
where you guys
I guess
from?
we can talk about that.
we're from a small town called Malta Bend.
Missouri.
Population is like 200 and probably 25 now.
Damn.
Extremely small. I mean,
Maybe-
one stoplight
maybe
that
smaller
just
than that.
blinks. That's it.
You got a
There's
village.
no
It's a
actual
village.
It really is a-
stoplight. You can probably drive or walk every street and maybe reach 2 miles, 3 miles,
Y'all-
maybe.
Y'all were churning
So-
butter for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Literally,
kind of like
but-
that. Yeah.
But we stuck out though. We didn't go like with the
Didn't
grain, you know.
fit
We did
in,
yeah.
everything different, and I feel like that's why, that's where we're at right now. Though it's
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
nuts. Like
Yeah.
people like being different. I guess like
Yeah.
people
I
think
mean,
that
some
it's
people
something-
do,
it's
some
authentic.
people
It's-
don't, and those
Yeah.
are the people that they're still there. They're still doing the
They're
same
still
stuff.
there,
following
man.
in the footsteps of those
Yes.
that they saw. And you
Yes.
guys, you were given that allowance of creative direction.
Yes.
And that's where you guys got to
Dude.
start thriving, and that's
I
amazing.
feel like, and especially in like smaller towns like that, there are definitely people who want to like step out of their comfort zone and be different, but like it's just a scary thing to do.
No, 100%.
It's like you're gonna get judged.
Oh, I
They're
got
gonna
judged.
judge you.
Yeah, we got judged all the time. I mean, dude, I was wearing skinny jeans
Like,
with
yeah,
pink shoes
yeah.
and skating every day, going to screamo
Too
concerts.
skinny.
While all my homies, yeah, they were way
Waddle
too
Skin
around.
tight. He was wearing
Dude.
jeggings or whatever they call it.
Dude, they were hella tight.
But that was the thing back
Oh.
then. That was
Yeah, that's just what we grew up doing. But yet, some of my friends, I mean, they're real country. Like
Yeah.
it was a total opposite. But yet, when you live in a small town, everybody was like brothers. Like I can,
Yeah.
man, my class was just insane. Like I
Yeah.
still
How big
consider
was your
all
class?
of them
How big
my
was your graduating
yeah,
class?
right?
nine.
Nine people.
Nine
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Yeah, fun fact though, I was actually valedictorian. Too.
No, you-
yeah,
You walked up in the
Yeah, I'm weird and I'm
like,
smart.
What the
Yeah.
fuck is
Yeah.
up, motherfuckers?
yeah. Oh man.
you didn't have to work too hard out of 9 kids. But
Yeah,
I
that's-
normally don't tell people how many was in my class. I normally just say, "Hey, fun fact, I'm valedictorian."
Honestly, that's
and leave
something
it
to
at
be
that.
proud of. And
No,
in my opinion,
100%.
that's something to be proud of because like
Yeah.
9 people, that's not a lot going on. And
No.
for you to be like, I want something going on in my life when
Yeah.
everything surrounding you is not much
Mhm.
going on.
No, not at
It's
all.
admirable.
I think a lot of that
The fuck
goes
you
back to
mean?
the freedom that our mother
What?
gave us and the support our mother gave us.
You think it's like
To
you only got 9 people to beat?
no, I'm saying with that kind of surrounding, how much was going on in that town?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh,
There's tumbleweeds.
Absolutely nothing. So that's what most people
But we
there are
made
like
it
seeing
something.
happen.
Yeah.
Dude, if you
Yeah, and you had that desire to
Yes,
make
this-
something happen.
Dude, this is nuts, man. I mean, like, I can't go anywhere without people knowing, like, who I am. Either it
Yeah.
was from back home or college or something. It's nuts. Like, we go, anytime I just go to a different town or something, I end up running into either, I mean, a close friend that I used to party with or, like, a football buddy of mine
Yeah.
because I had to co-op with another school to even just play another sport. Like, it was nuts. So, like,
Yeah.
we met so many people. I met so many people.
Did you?
Even though being in a small town. So, I still got out
Yeah,
there.
high school
and
of like
still had
40
those connections.
I was about
kids.
to say. So you went to high school in Malta Bend. Is there a high school? In
Yeah,
Malta
I
Bend?
went to Malta Bend.
Uh,
Jared
yeah.
went to Marshall.
Yeah, well-
Yeah. Why did you decide to go to Marshall?
Well, I was at Malta Bend from preschool all the way up until my freshman year of high school, and could have graduated. Went pretty much preschool all the way to graduating high school, all in the same building. But after my freshman year of high school, I decided to transfer to Marshall, and that's where Terrence was at the time, and that's why I'm here right now, and that's why I met Terrence.
Yeah.
But I started my sophomore year there. And the reason I transferred was I don't know, it was just a bigger school. Our mother has worked her whole life in Marshall. We spent a lot of time there. There was just a little bit more going on. They had a movie theater, like skating rink at the time. So like that was,
The skate
Dude,
there
rink.
was,
that was my
stuff
thing.
there. Like back when he was saying, with me just like drawing, I was just such a bored kid. I would
If
go
you would've-
outside, shoot hoops, go inside and draw. Like that's the extent of my day, and it would just be 2 hours here, 2 hours there, and that's like it. There was just nothing, absolutely
Yeah.
nothing to
It's like
do.
on repeat doing the
It's
same
it's
things.
literally cornfield, like a bunch of like 10 houses, and then cornfields.
Yeah.
Like there's just nothing to do. We had small groups of friends, like 2 or 3 kids who would come over to our house, but we weren't ever really like doing anything.
Just sitting there.
But I
Well,
decided
he just had more opportunities in Marshall to kind of grow
Right, I
and
mean,
develop.
If
And then
once- if you're
with-
coming from a town of 200 people,
with
then yeah,
Ryan, our
you're-
older brother, and then myself, we kind of pushed it on him too. We said, "Hey, we've already graduated from Malta Bend. We know
There's
kind of what
nothing,
it's
yeah.
like. We want you with your creative side to go somewhere to where maybe you can meet someone like you because I never got that.
Right.
And I think that is kind of another reason. Like we kind of pushed our mom to kind of send him. And Jared was an athlete too, so he had to lose a whole year of sports too, which
Yeah.
when you come from a small town and stuff, like that's really the only thing you can do in school is be an athlete and then like try to do your schoolwork. And that was it. So
100%.
the fact that he had to sit out a year at Marshall too.
Yeah, the reason I had to sit out was because the small school Malta Bend I was at, like, if you're losing one student out of a high school of 40 kids, like that's a lot of money. That's a lot of, I mean, I was big into sports and stuff. That's just a lot that's going on at the school.
They did
And
not
for
want
that
to
to
lose an
leave,
Armstrong from Alta Bend, so
Yeah.
they
and
sued
for-
us.
yeah, I had
They
to go to
sued
court.
you?
I had to go to this
Yeah,
like court
yeah.
thing, and
No
like
joke.
That's
I had
petty.
to talk to these
You got
judges, and
sued
I
for
was
changing schools.
I was like
Yeah.
15 years
They-
old trying to.
They
It
was
was
trying
just
to beat a court
ridiculous.
case.
They-
You're a
Yeah.
felon on the streets of Malta Bend.
Yeah, they said that he only wanted to go to Marshall for sports or something like that, and we're trying to make it a big scene, and we're like, Marshall has much
not
more than
wild?
Alta Bend regardless.
I mean,
So
even
it was
It's
nuts.
illegal.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, no,
that's illegal for you to try to transfer schools just
for a sport.
right. Yeah,
That's what they
yeah.
try to make it
Yeah,
seem
so that's
like.
what
High
they
school?
that's what they try to make it
Mhm.
seem
I
like.
mean,
yeah.
I feel like that makes sense in like college, but like
No,
in
in
high
school, yeah, in high school, man,
you're-
it was
you're
nuts.
suing
It was
15-year-old
so
kids for one more. It's
That's
kind
the
of crazy. to
pettiest
me.
shit I ever heard in my
right.
life. I'll say
And
that.
like I was on the trajectory to play college basketball because our oldest brother did, and that's like where my head was at the time. And after missing a whole year of basketball, like that's a lot to miss out on. And like when a college recruiter or whatever would be looking at you, they would be like, "Why did you miss a whole season?" And like I don't know.
It
So
doesn't look
that
good.
kind of went out the window. And by the time I was a senior, like that really wasn't the route that I wanted to go, anyways. But it was just it was a pretty lousy thing to go through. But I will say I will always be proud to say that I'm from Malta Bend. Our mother still lives in Malta Bend. We go back often.
Always.
Kaylin and I are gonna go back and actually be staying there tonight with my mother. And yeah,
We
I
found
remember.
a new love for it, I think.
What's that?
I
Yeah,
said-
yeah,
I
no,
mean,
definitely.
We found a
Appreciation
new love
for
for it.
it.
We didn't appreciate it when we were there,
Yeah,
and now when
not
we
at
go
all.
That's how
back,
it is,
Not at
though.
all.
when we go back, oh my gosh, dude, it
That's
is
how it
like
is, especially,
heaven
like,
on
when you're a
earth.
kid.
I remember moments of just us being so upset at our mother, like, why are you doing this to us? Like,
Why are
why
you
are we
keeping us
living
here?
in this small town, like, where there's nothing going on? We have two friends. Like, why can't we be somewhere where things are going on? And she's like, just wait. You're going to appreciate where you grew up. And honestly, yeah, that's exactly what happened. And now I just can't see myself like actually settling down or living somewhere that isn't peaceful, that isn't like quiet, where there's not too much going on, because that's what I grew up in.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I was like, I want to be in the hustle and bustle. I want to be somewhere where there's just always something going on. But growing up there really made me appreciate the peace of it all. And I don't know, man. Malta Bend will always have a special place in my heart. Yeah,
So how are you
man.
liking Kansas City?
I love Kansas City. Yeah, I love Kansas City. It's a small city. There's really not too much going on. Kaylin and I have a nice little apartment that's tucked away in between some trees, about 7 minutes out from downtown. So it's nice and peaceful. We still got the peace, but it's just a little drive downtown, and
And you do feel like
I
doing
really like
something?
it. But our whole thing is just work really hard and eventually buy some land somewhere that is like far out, tucked away,
Yeah.
and just do what we want to do, and just enjoy each other's company, and being outside, just like what we did when we were kids, just spending time outside and being bored. Like when I was a kid, when you're a kid, you don't wanna be bored, but once you got a lot of stuff going on and life really starts happening, you're like, man, it'd be nice to just kind of not have anything to do or anything to worry about. And I think that's where we see ourselves far down the line. But Kansas City's nice for right now.
Yeah. Actually, I have a question. How long have you, Tyler? How long have you been interested in like furniture?
Yeah, that's a great question. It all just, I think, happened with trying to find vintage clothes and standing out and being different. I just thought that was so unique and so cool because the people I grew up around was not like that whatsoever.
So
I think even
Was it like whenever you in Malta Bend? Like you?
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
even back, like our mom was big into thrifting. Our house doesn't really have any real cohesiveness. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
things
kinda
that she
everywhere.
liked, and like so. I think just subconsciously being in that made us appreciate the little things and just what you're surrounded
Yeah.
by in a home. And I feel like that kind of plays into who you are and what
Yeah.
you are
Yeah, I can see
now.
that. Yeah,
But-
I think it's just like the scarcity of things. And I think finding something that nobody else has, I think is very cool. I
Like
mean,
rewarding
I
almost.
yeah,
whenever you find
extremely
something.
rewarding,
Yeah.
man. I mean, that's why I do it. It's almost like going on an Easter egg hunt all the time. You're trying to find that golden egg, dude. Every stop that I make and like every connection that I make has a background and a story and everything to it. And
Yeah.
it's honestly, it's like it's life changing. Like when I get to meet some of these people that I get to buy stuff from, I mean, my connections.
Yeah, you were
I
telling me
see
the
a
other
whole
day,
new life. I see a whole new like.
Mhm.
It's just nuts.
you get to learn the story behind the stuff that you're buying
Yes,
too, from
dude,
the people that you're buying it from. You were
yes.
telling me that the other day as well.
Yeah, but it all happened. I mean, clothes were getting harder and harder to find. The song "Thrift Shop" came out by Macklemore, and he fucked everything up.
That's when everybody started
Dude,
jumping on it.
fucked it all up. Nobody could buy any clothes anymore because everybody was buying stuff. So,
All of a sudden, it was cool.
so yeah. So then all of a sudden, I kind of went and I stumbled upon an antique mall in Grain Valley, and I was wandering around, and I saw like this really cool 1950s Panther TV lamp, this stalking panther. It was like red, and ever
Panthers
since
like kind of like your.
the Panthers became
Yeah.
like my thing.
Yeah.
And then ever since I found like that and some other pieces, I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. And then the more I started to collect, the more I realized, man, other people would actually like this stuff too. So why don't I try to go and find other things to either sell to them, because I was doing that with clothes, and then that's kind of I guess avalanched into what it is now with me finding all kinds of unique things and either sharing them or keeping them to myself to live with them for a little bit and then giving them to somebody else or finding another home for them. But I just think it's super cool just to think, man, a piece was made in the 1950s. You know, like what has that piece seen? You know,
Yeah.
what
got a
kind
lot
of
of history.
stories has that piece been like? I mean, just the people it's been around. Like I think it's nuts. Now that I have it in my home and I absolutely love my home.
He has a super dope home. It's like it's crazy. His house is crazy.
It's super sick. It
Yes.
came together. All this collecting for like 6 to 8 years of unique stuff. I just bought a place in January. Super pumped about it, and I've totally filled it up. It's phenomenal. So, yeah, that kind of just sparked the interest. Is just finding really unique and rare things and either keeping them or selling them to somebody else who
Yeah.
appreciates them.
It's crazy.
And you fall mostly into like furniture or
Yeah, it started with smaller pieces, and then all of a sudden it kind of went to the larger pieces, and yeah, it just, I mean, I'll buy almost anything. I mean, as long as it's got a unique shape or style, or
Yeah.
if it's like an
you just
authentic
like
piece
it.
from someone, anything like that, yeah, it's awesome.
that's
So-
awesome. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been great. It's been a battle, but I mean, I just stayed consistent with it, like we were talking about earlier, and then just things grew. I mean, I got so much stuff in the basement, and then all of a sudden I was like, man, I need to do something with all this stuff. Decided to look into getting a booth, and found Midway Antique Mall, and then got a smaller booth, and all of a sudden I started seeing I was actually making a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And it's just a hobby, and it was so much fun to go there and literally like do the entire decor. The entire booth was me. You know, I get to express myself, and then that done so well that I got really lucky. And the mall offered me a bigger booth up front because they seen all the sales that I was doing, and then took that booth up front, and now I'm just smooth sailing.
Yeah.
End goal would probably be to have a shop in the next, few years, and then collab with other people too.
Have you already thought about like what you would name it and stuff? Like if you had a shop,
Oh, if I were to name it, no,
Yeah.
man, I don't know about
I
that.
feel like that would
yet.
take you forever. To
I mean,
like,
Retro
to
Studio
decide.
92. Like I'm
Damn,
I'm
that's
down with that.
actually-
It's
damn,
not
that's
bad.
good.
That would be fire.
It's already
92
good.
92 is when I was born. Was the year that I was born. So
Cheers.
I was like, you know what?
You too?
Yeah, the
Mhm.
dirty
Yeah.
30s
Oh, yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
you guys
So,
are-
Yeah.
but
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
So
that's
and then
funny.
just most of my stuff is retro,
Eddie.
and then a studio is like.
We have a cousin named Eddie. You kind of look like him, and I
Really?
just said you remind me of him. But I'm sorry for cutting you
Oh,
off.
that's perfect.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know about a name. I might just end up keeping that.
It's a
for
good
sure.
name.
To
It's
go
a
Nah, I
good
would
name.
keep that name.
see what happens. But yeah, that's kind of the end goal. So
Do you kind of like do this full time right now?
no,
or-
so I work for Columbia Parks and Rec and work with
Oh, yeah.
individuals with special needs, and that's my 40-hour week job. And then I just love this hobby of mine so much that it devours all my free time, but I love it. That's
Yeah.
why I do it.
Yeah.
And other people try to do it, hey, buying and reselling, like they think that might be easy, but like you have to devote literally so many hours a day looking at auctions, looking at
Yeah.
sales. I mean, I might be in Chicago. I might drive all the way to Chicago after work, 8 hours,
For a side
Get-
table.
get off at 5 o'clock and sleep in my car, drive all the way there, sleep in my car, meet them at like 5 in the morning, load that thing up, drive back, and still teach my programs. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe 3 hours of sleep, but that's what I do. I mean, I love that stuff.
And that's the passion that it takes
Yeah.
for you to like pull into it becoming the full-time job, for you getting that studio. It takes that.
Right.
It's not work. Like, it is work.
It doesn't come
takes work,
easy,
but you
yeah.
love doing
Genuinely
it, so is it
passionate
really
about
work?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure it's the same for Jared. You know, like when you get to see things grow, I mean, like it's awesome.
Definitely.
When you put in the effort, it returns.
Yeah.
And it's been super cool.
Gotta stay consistent.
And I don't want to leave this out. My girlfriend Ray, she's also back there. Chilling with
Yeah, we
Kevin
got a
right
little
now.
crowd.
She helps me
Little
out
cheering
so
section.
much. Like, I would not be here if it wasn't for her as well. Like, she helps me with the booth display or just tagging stuff, going through stuff, and then sometimes we even tag team a sale. You know, we see things that we like. You go this way, I go that way. Let's nab this shit real quick.
Hell yeah.
That's how it goes sometimes. But yeah, she loves it as well. So it's like a perfect match.
Yeah, I'll say if you're a creative person, any capacity, having nice home decor and well designed furniture in your place, it really does something just to that creative energy
Yeah.
that runs within you. Like I know IKEA furniture and stuff like that is real real accessible, but to put some time in and to go to these kind of sales or to buy from a shop like his, like sitting on a nice old couch that
He's been through some shit.
yeah, and that was really designed really well and has made it 50 years. You know, that thing's gonna make it another 150.
Yeah.
Like, just sitting in it, just
Things are
it
not
feels
built the same
good.
nowadays.
No.
And
Things are not
cheap,
built the same
right?
nowadays. Yeah.
not at all.
And yeah, that's another reason why I do. I mean, this stuff is going to last. I mean, it's already last, you know, I mean,
X
50
amount of years,
to
yeah.
60, 70 years. And then, you know, if I keep it in decent shape,
Come on.
then yeah, good to
Yeah.
go. Thank you.
Cameo.
Do you like reupholster, do any of that kind of stuff too?
So I started redoing some wood tables and things like that, which has been a blast. But damn, that shit is hard. It took me like a year and a half to do this coffee table.
Oh, I saw it, but it looks good. It
The
looks
coffee
so
table
good, though.
looks. I mean,
Wait, did
I've
you do
had
that?
people. Yeah, I did it. I did
You
it
did
all.
that by yourself?
Dude,
That looks
yeah.
so fucking good. I didn't know you did it by yourself.
Yeah, I had people come over. I mean, like when people come over to buy certain things, they also just want to wander around my house, which
Yeah.
I love it though, because we can talk about things that we have similar
Yeah.
interest in. And yeah, once I redid that table, you would be surprised. Everybody wants to buy it.
Yeah.
And I'm almost thinking to myself, this was my first table that I've ever done. Should I keep it? Should I pass it down? Should I sell it?
You
I
should
don't
keep
know.
it. It's the first
I mean,
one.
I'm a business guy, so if somebody really wanted
Everything
it,
for the right
then
price.
yeah, it definitely has a price. But it's a huge learning curve too. I mean, somebody spray painted the entire thing white. And
like shit.
multiple coats, dude, and like
Look
you
like
don't want to
shit.
tear up the wood. And this is teak wood, so this is some nice
Yeah.
stuff. Basically sell like mid-century furniture. But
Medieval.
yes,
Just
Not
maces and
medieval.
maces and
Dungeon
shields.
doors.
and
No, very
chain-
modern.
To the
chain
dungeon
mail.
business.
very modern stuff. But yeah, no, it turned out great. So I do have a few chairs that I really wanted to try and reupholster, but I haven't really messed with that yet. That'll probably come at some point, but I have so many projects. They're just building up. I also
Yeah.
like to make my own art too. So I do that, repurpose like say a lamp that's either cracked or broke or something like that. I'll fix it up and I'll texture it and paint it and do something really unique with it. Maybe put like human figures on it, like a
Yeah,
face or
I do.
two.
I've seen those.
I got some really cool stuff that I'm
Fix
working
those.
on, which I would
No,
love
I need
to
to
do.
see after
Oh,
this. You
dude.
gotta show me.
I just want to update all this furniture in here. It's not bad, but I'm telling you, dude, I can bring in some dope
Hey,
shit.
if you want to, I'm sure they'll let you. And
Yeah, you need
we
to
will
come
too.
update me. I just moved in with my girlfriend, so it's
Yeah.
like we need to.
You guys have bought something from me before.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've bought a few.
And
things for
shirt,
me.
the Nike shirt that he had on.
Yeah.
He's
Yo,
always support.
reach out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, dude,
the
I
Nike
always
for
buy
it.
stuff from
Dude.
these two.
Right.
And that's another
That's
thing,
why I was
man.
here
We
at
have the best friend group
Drop
backing.
of a pin.
Dude, they are backing. Like,
Yeah.
so many of my friends, my skate friends, man, they all are just buying so
You
much
gotta
stuff from me,
support
which is
your
awesome.
friends, man.
100%.
Support the people trying to
Definitely.
do stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and if they just so happen to be your friends, then you got a good friend group.
Mm-hmm.
And who's gonna uplift you more than the people you surround yourself with? I got a question for you.
What's up?
All right, so like, as far as your whole business and everything you started with,
Yeah.
where did you find the most struggle in like actually building that foundation of consistency and things like that?
Had to be rough at first.
Yeah. Well, I mean, since Kaylin and I started it together, we've just always had each other's back through the whole thing. And when I'm having a bad day, she's typically having a good day, and when I'm having a good
It's
day,
funny how
she
that
might be
works.
having a bad day. And that's how you would hope it would be, and that's
Yeah.
how it has been for us. And honestly, the hardest part of the business has probably been trying to balance our relationship and the business, just everything that goes into the business. But it has made everything so much more rewarding. She is my best friend, everything to me, and just like trying to figure out the business side of things. We're both really creative people and really driven, but the more like structural business kind of sides of things, that's probably where we struggled the most early on, getting everything set up, making sure everything's like good to go. But as far as the creative side of things, it's we both just get in the flow, and we've been doing it for 5 years, and it honestly, I don't know, time has flown by because we're just so passionate about it and we love it so much. It really like brings us life, and is just something that we love and cherish so much. But so thinking back on like struggling parts, I would just say the legal business side of things,
Getting the LLC or whatever
shit
you
like
gotta
that. I
do.
mean, yeah, and it really it wasn't like that much of a struggle. I think it's just the stress of thinking about that stuff, or like just knowing,
I hate it.
Oh yeah.
I
like when you
absolutely
actually sit
hate
down and do it, it's not too bad. You can just knock it out. But like when you're thinking like, oh man, I need to be tracking everything. I need to uh, keep all my receipts and write down everything. Like it's not hard when you're in the process of doing it, but when you're sitting there thinking about it, and you just keep putting it off, like that's the biggest struggle for me. I'm like I just want to create, and that's all like I want to do.
So
I don't want to worry about the other stuff.
recently, I've been kind of having like this internal struggle about like behind like creating, because I feel like I took on too much at like one time. So it's like I was doing
Yeah,
like
spread
uh,
the
pictures
spread
for this
them.
person, a video for this person, and I like couldn't make things how I wanted to make them because
And
like
your work might
obviously
start slacking. You got too
you're
much.
being
Yeah.
paid, so it's like you got to make it for
Gotta tailor it.
you got to tailor it to that person's liking. So it's like I started to lose that, I guess, like that passion or like that
Mhm.
desire to
Mhm.
create stuff anymore. So it's like recently I've been having to like take a step back and like saying no to like, oh, we take these pictures,
Yep.
we do
Yep.
this video.
Yep.
I've been saying no recently, so I could like kind of, I guess, rekindle that passion for making videos and just like creating again recently. So like,
Yeah.
do you feel like you've had any struggle like that, either one of you?
Oh yeah, 100%. When you were saying that, I was like, that's a much better answer to give you. The struggle of trying to stay in the creative flow when you're like, oh,
Because
this is a
sometimes you just want to
business. Like
create,
this is,
but you have to
and I,
make things that you think people are gonna like because you're
uh,
trying to do this for like a living, essentially.
yeah, yeah. And straight out of college, I didn't go to college for any of this stuff. So leaving straight out of college and trying to run this business full time with Kaylin, like, and my whole part of the business is trying to stay creative. It's so hard when it's like, man, rent's due, and like you're just. It's so hard to get in a creative flow when you're like, man, I actually
You
gotta
have all these
buy
other things on your
groceries,
mind.
or
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're gonna starve.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a big struggle. Right now, I work part time, just a couple days out of a week, at a place called Scraps KC, which I love so much. It's a, donation based like craft store, so it's almost like a kind of like a Goodwill, but they just sell craft supplies. So like old fabrics, jewelry making
It's right up
supplies,
your alley.
Right.
yeah, 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 anything you can craft with. And yeah, they gave me the opportunity to work there a couple days a week. So now I get to see all the cool stuff that comes in before it's sold, and I started that a year into trying to do Yvonne and Mitchell full time. So I did that for a year, and I could just catch myself in those ruts of like, I need to wake up and I need to make this many pieces today, or I need to get this amount of stuff done. And it's just, for me, when I'm creating, I just have to be in that flow state, and it's so hard to get in that when you're worried about
So many other things in
bills and
life,
things.
like your
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah. So having a little part-time job that gives me a little bit of income and helps me just take care of the things that I
Give you
really
peace of
need
mind.
to, really, yeah, it took off a lot of pressure, and has really been a blessing. But
Hmm.
but yeah, man. How do you feel? Do you catch yourself in those creative ruts?
Yeah, I think starting off I did. I've learned to really just take a step back
Uh-huh.
and go,
Mm.
I do have time to do
Yeah.
things.
Yep.
And one of the things that I learned, if you're like making a specific piece for somebody,
Uh
just you want to make something you're proud of. You
Definitely.
don't
Yeah.
want to give them as quickly as possible,
Mhm.
even though that's what they want. You tell somebody, I want something that I'm proud of to
Right.
give to you. More than likely, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, that's what I want.
Right.
And so that takes out the stress. So now, like, whenever I'm doing projects, I kind of like take my time. I wait for the inspiration. I'll sit down in front of the computer if I'm working
Uh-huh.
on a music video,
Yep.
and I'll see what I feel. And if I don't feel it, I'll just go on to the next project,
Yep.
because that's how it is
As you
whenever you have
should. That's
multiple projects.
Yeah. That's It's really creatively mature of you.
It
You
takes
said-
a lot of stress off of you too.
Right. Wow, man. And you said you're 30 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got 5 years on me. So you got some wisdom
Hey, when
to
I was-
give me.
I think when I was 25, I was a personal trainer. I just
Okay.
studied my NASM. Yeah.
Okay.
Like
That's
I've literally
yes.
done everything.
You have
I've
some
tried
crazy
everything
stories.
Uh-huh.
until
Like,
shit.
I think that's how it should. That's how it should be. When you're so young, you should try everything. Like
Testing the water.
that's
You
what
gotta
we're
figure
here
out
for.
what you
Yeah.
like and
That's trial and
That's
error.
what we're here
Trial and error
for.
until you
Yeah.
find what you like.
I mean,
Yeah.
shit. When I was 22, I sold everything I owned and moved to Phoenix, Arizona, just
Uh-huh.
because I wanted to
Phoenix
change.
is
that.
Yeah.
dope,
Yeah,
bro.
and I
Yeah.
fucking
Shout out to
love it. I
Bishop,
lived there
man.
for
Shout out to
4
Bishop,
months.
man.
4
Bishop's
months.
in
Yeah,
Phoenix,
and then
dude. I
just-
miss you, bro.
Like I wanted to experience something.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just did it, and I wanted to see where that would lead me. And it's safe to say everything you do prior to right now at this very
Yeah,
moment
is
led
exactly
you to
for a
this-
reason.
This
Yep.
exact moment.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, so it's like gratitude for that, and that's where like where you're from probably is one of the reasons you guys do
That's
appreciate
why
it.
we are
because-
the people that we are
Exactly.
right now.
100%.
Like if we were around a
100%.
bunch of creative people all the time, man, you don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we might have went the opposite direction or
Yeah.
something. You have no idea, but
But-
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't hard to stick out in a town of 30 people, but
Yeah.
but I think we took it to the absolute maximum, to where it's like, oh, we're gonna stand out. No, we're gonna really
Bro, we're on a
try to do
podcast.
something.
Yeah.
from Malta
Really try to do
Ben.
something different. All of our
You're
friends
on
are
the worst.
farmers, or just maybe not doing too hot in life, and it's
But that's their life. That's what they choose. You know,
Yeah.
like that might be like their hobbies. Farmers, that might be their
no,
route.
I love
Right.
all
Yeah.
of our farming friends, but I mean, just coming from a town in the middle of Missouri, like a lot of kids don't have like any bigger goals than maybe
Yeah.
being a manager like an Applebee's or something. And like I want to be the kid that comes from a small town and shows kids that were
So
like
I wanna
me,
be
just
that person too.
sketching and drawing these crazy things and watching these music videos or these interviews and being like, man, I want to be one of these people. I want to show the kids that come from these small towns like I do,
You can do it too.
that I did, that like, yeah, you really can do that.
Yep.
And yeah,
I feel like whenever you are the kid in just going through everyday life, it's like in that situation, it's like it's almost like it seems hopeless. Because I'm from Marshall, obviously, which is like
Another
not
small
nearly
town.
as small.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
it's,
like-
it's a small town, but it's like not as small as Malta Bend. But
Yeah, sometimes you feel
not
like
a lot of people come up out of Marshall, so it's like
I mean, I'm from New Bloomfield. If you've
New
ever heard
Bloomfield?
of it. Yeah, population was like 569 or something like that.
it's
But
small town
yeah,
boys.
Yeah.
everybody wore cowboy boots. I was the only person that
Yep,
didn't own
yep.
a pair.
I still
So I
don't
can
own a
relate with
pair.
you. Yeah, they're
I
just
just recently-
uncomfortable to me.
Oh,
I just
shit.
recently
Buy a
designed.
pair?
I just recently designed a
design
pair
so
of.
okay.
Were they
cowboy
comfortable?
I might wear
boots.
those
Yeah.
then. I might
Yeah,
wear
no,
those.
yeah, I love them. Yeah.
I'll probably rock those.
My whole
Yeah.
life growing up in the small town, I was anti cowboy boots, but now looking back, I'm like, man, they were onto something. Those are clean. So now I have a nice pair that I designed, and people like them.
Yo,
I love them.
I want
think
a
they're
pair of these
comfortable.
loafers on your
I was
feet
gonna
right
say,
now.
speaking of shoes, let's go ahead and
I
like
want
let's
a
swap.
pair
Let's
of
zoom
trade
in on
right
those
now.
bad
Yeah.
boys or something. I don't know if you guys can do that, but like, yo, check them out.
Yeah,
Dude, just
man.
set
Got
them up
the-
on the table. We might
got
be
the
Oh,
able
little-
to.
bitch, they got
got
a
the little
butt
strap
God
on
damn.
'em.
Sheesh. Think you
Yeah.
can do a kickflip in those?
Nah.
I can still do a kickflip.
Oh yeah, it's heel flips that start to get tricky with
Can't see
those
the
kind of shoes.
buttons.
Actually, those might work well. I mean, leather. I've seen
Yeah.
a lot of leather shoes, man. They hold
Absolutely.
up a little bit better.
But yeah, I've been designing shoes since junior in college, so like 2018, and that's always been a passion. Back on like what Tyler said, I was a little kid just sketching shoes, and while I was in school, I was able to actually make those dreams come true and find somebody who was willing to take the risk on some of my designs. And he's the same age as me, from overseas, so there's a language barrier, but like he just kind of gets what I'm trying to bring, and he says yes to my ideas, and he tries to bring them to life, and a lot of times he does, just like these. And Terrence has got a couple pairs, I believe,
Yeah.
now of boots
Got a
and
pair of the boots,
things
the
I've
shoes.
designed.
The Susans,
And
baby.
yeah, man, there's like
Can't
only
go wrong.
I only have like maybe 5 or 6 pairs that I've actually fully designed and like have in my hands, and it's something really special to me, something I cherish, and
Same.
that's
Same.
a whole other part of my journey that I'm just now like really kind of diving into.
What
And-
do you think would be like your biggest weakness? Like, what do you think you need to work on the most to really take your company to the next level?
Good ass question. Wow.
My speaking skills. No. Honestly, I was so nervous to come on this
My
podcast.
podcast
skills.
skills.
I'm like sweating right now.
Bro,
You guys got me.
I have like major anxiety, so like
Mhm.
doing this stuff for
Yeah.
the shows and hosting those, all I see this as is practice. To be
No,
better at
100%.
that.
And that's what, yeah, I was, that's one of the big reasons I said yes to doing this. I was like, this is going to be a
Yup,
practice.
same.
This is going to be a lesson. And,
Yeah.
What better
yeah.
way to do it than to be with like close people that you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
friends
Yeah.
and everything? And shit,
It
my little
feels a
brother's
little
on
bit
it.
more
That's
comfortable.
even better, dude.
Yeah.
yeah. But, I'm sorry. What was the question again?
Hold on, let me think.
What do you
Oh,
think you could work
yeah.
on? Your
Oh,
weakness.
weaknesses.
Job interview.
Weaknesses. Maybe I'm still kind of slacking on like the business
It's
the
boring,
business
dude.
financial
Yeah,
numbers
anyone
side
said
of
it's
things.
boring.
It's
So
just
you need
it's
a
not
book-
for me. So I'm just trying to get to the place where making enough income that we can hire somebody that is that number whiz, and that's
Hey.
what.
You know what's really important is putting yourself out there and saying that kind of stuff. You never know. Somebody
100%.
might just reach
Yeah.
out and do it for fucking free because they
Right.
believe in the vision.
Well, if you're listening to this and if you're good with numbers and tracking things and the business side of things, please reach out to me
Send me your
and
resume.
Kaylin, because we
Yeah.
could use you.
Send it to me
Kaylin
first.
handles all of the website, social media, all the promotion. She absolutely kills it. I am strictly just designing and sewing, and honestly, my sewing skills are really limited, but I know how to use the machine, and I feel like I use it in a way that a lot of people don't, and I think that's kind of what has created a lane for us. But with her doing social media promotion and me just doing the design, we need someone on our team that can handle all of the numbers and all of the legal stuff.
That reminds me, in this podcast, I'll put your guys' Instagrams and
Yeah,
all
for
the
sure,
links
for
so
sure,
people
for
can
sure.
just directly go
Yeah.
whenever they watch it.
Yeah,
Pretty awesome.
Never even thought about that until now. So
yeah,
just-
man. Link us.
Nah, you're fucking
Yeah.
stupid. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, well, where are you at? You're supposed to be the co-host, telling me to do these things.
I don't
Remember the
give a
brain
fuck.
fart thing?
I don't give a fuck.
Thank
I show
I
up
love
and
you
I
guys'
talk.
setup, man.
you.
I really do like this. This is really
It's-
cool.
it's
Thank you
cozy,
for having us
you know?
on.
Hopefully that
Mhm.
couch isn't too uncomfortable.
I'm sweating.
I mean,
I'm
I'm like
asshole.
Sinking
Yeah,
in this damn thing.
I'm
right
sweating
Now,
profusely.
I think I'm still sinking.
Fuck.
But
like,
it's all
Dude,
good. I
you
mean,
look
so.
like you know those the old weed commercials if you do drugs and it just like
yeah.
fucking
Yeah, that's pretty
melted
much
into it.
And this is some leather, dude. So
Yeah,
like,
so
it's
it's
hot as
sticky.
fuck.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, these
Like,
lights are really
We're
hot.
gonna need some vintage
I got-
furniture or
dude.
something, bro.
I'm already thinking. I was
Yeah.
already thinking of
Listen,
that
I'm
right when
not
I saw
totally
this
sure.
place. So
I would love to buy some furniture, but I'm not toting that bitch around every time I come here.
I'll strap it on my car.
There you go.
It's a Subaru. It can
Hey.
handle it.
All right.
He
There
can't
you
even
go.
drive right now.
Hey.
Wow, man.
Enough. I can drive just fine. Just can't get pulled
How'd you
over.
get here?
What?
How'd you get here?
My camera guys. Shout out Dan and Dylan. We'll
Dan
put
and
you guys in
Dylan.
there too. Yeah. Round of applause.
Dan and Dylan and
Has it been
Dan and
another
Dylan.
30 minutes?
The
We
double
might need to
D's.
check.
Right?
I don't know. Not yet? Okay,
It
bet.
just floats on by.
Yeah. No, it's a good
No,
time.
long
it's,
has it been?
you guys. It's
I don't know.
been. We started.
know.
It's been over an hour.
Time flies when you're
Nice.
having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is. I was talking to Terrence about this when we went out and got coffee, man. We could sit there and talk for days,
Yeah.
but it's just I don't have that time in my schedule to just sit down with people. But when you do, it's so nice,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Like
You
we need
lost
to
in
make
it.
more time with
Dude,
this.
when
like,
we were at the coffee shop, we talked way longer than I expected.
and that's like I kind of lost contact with my older brother Ryan, and all of a sudden he was like, since we're living literally both in Columbia, he's like, dude, let's get coffee like every
Yeah.
Thursday. Dude, I learned so much about him because I mean everybody's so busy nowadays that I got to sit down and meet with him before we both went to work, and it was awesome. And just like you need that interaction with people and just like helping each other out. Like if you needed the assistance or something, like
Yeah.
there's somebody there that you can talk to instead of thinking, hey, who am I gonna reach out to, dude?
How often do you guys get to hang out?
Man, rarely.
Really, yeah, not too much. And that was another reason that I was really happy that Terrence asked me to do this, because, like,
You guys are hearing
We
stuff
see
for the
each
first
other-
time that I'm hearing, and he's my
Yeah,
little brother.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
right?
And it's probably vice versa. So,
yeah,
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 that's why.
just creating the space for us, it really, I think I can speak for both of us, like, means a lot to us. Because there's not too many moments where we're actually sitting down, catching up on
Having
life and
conversation.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing that I would hope people take away from this podcast is to spend more time with your siblings and really hear what's going on in their lives and yeah, and talk more. I mean, we do, but it's never really much more than like, hey, how you doing? You need anything? Like anything like that.
We
So
talked about this because like if just having real conversation is just such a rare thing nowadays.
You gotta give us some time for it. You
Yeah.
gotta put in the effort
People
for it. You
people
can't
feel like
just-
they don't have time unless
yeah.
they have X amount of hours to spend scrolling through TikTok or
Uh-huh.
just any social media. But like, why don't you have time to go meet with
Time is
this
king,
person?
man.
to
Time
talk
is
about?
king over money, over anything.
Yeah.
Time is king.
Well,
You
it's
learn
effort.
that when you get older too.
Yeah.
It's a crazy
Yeah.
thing. It's
Definitely.
like you learn the value of time and the value of like the people in your life.
You have any siblings?
Yeah, I got a older brother. He's 6 years older than me.
Okay.
And like
You guys close?
I looked up to him a lot. I learned a lot from him.
Yeah.
I got to sit in the back of the bus whenever I was in elementary.
Same.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And sit with all the cool high schoolers because of him. And
Yeah.
I was the only one saying bitch
Yeah,
whenever I was in
yeah.
like kindergarten. You know what I mean? I felt cool because of my older brother.
Well,
And I
Yeah.
get that. And then I relate with you because like the skateboarding, being 30, like it's almost like we grew up in the exact same situation because I was the person that was skateboarding whenever I was 15 and I was wearing the skinny jeans and
Yeah.
the fucking tight
Yep.
black and white
Blink
striped
182
jacket
blaring,
and shit.
yeah.
Yeah, listening to all
dude, Blink-182.
yeah,
Sure.
my first show that I ever
Really?
went to was Red Jumpsuit Apparatus.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like
Sheesh.
fucking jamming to
Fuck.
that shit. Like I was into it. But I was
fucking
this
old.
kid from the country and
Yeah.
I always had bigger
You're
aspirations.
fucking old.
All right.
Bro, he just called you old as fuck.
You're fucking old.
Dude,
as shit.
You calling me old?
Terrence,
right
what
there?
year you? You're 26,
man.
right?
It's
Huh?
getting
You're
up
26?
there.
27, baby.
27.
And it's also because a lot of my friends are a lot younger than me right now
Yeah.
too.
Well-
my older friends I don't get to see them as
Yeah, see,
often.
that was different for me.
Jared got to grow
like,
up with me, and then when I was in high school, all my friends were older, basically.
Yeah.
So Jared got
when
a
I was
lot
in
of
high
wisdom
school,
passed down to him.
my friends were the age I am now, pretty much 21 to 25. I remember my friends at high school be like, "Dude, why don't you ever stay here over the weekend?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to his campus. I'm gonna hang out with
Bro.
college girls."
Yeah.
Jared was with the honeys, man. Nah, all of a sudden we're at a party. Caitlin's over here too, but
Yeah.
we're at a party and whatnot, and all of a sudden, like I'm playing darts with one of my homies or something like that, and I look over and Jared's on the couch, just macking, dude. We didn't even make it out to
Three
the
of
bars.
That's where he
He's
picks his
14.
confidence up.
These are
Yeah,
college
honestly,
girls.
honestly.
Jared
Yeah,
loved
that's
it.
where I
Jared would
got
go
my- that's where
back
I
home
got
probably
the
to Marshall and
confidence.
tell most wild stories.
Yeah, it would. They'd be like, man, you're living a whole nother life on the
Right.
weekends, and I'm pretty
Yeah, it was
much.
some nutty stuff.
Meanwhile, I was in my basement playing video games.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
shit.
I am drunk.
You,
What'd you have? Two
Yeah.
quarts?
Half of
A
it.
3.
He
Too
just
deep.
opened that thing. His lips
Damn.
touched the can.
I look like I got 2 right
I
here.
got it.
already.
this is
Yeah.
starting to be not a coincidence anymore that he's drunk on the podcast.
That means it's empty.
I do got a whiz.
Yeah.
I-
I mean, we can wrap it up,
Yep.
and
There you go.
I
hopefully
do
we'll have you guys.
want it to be on record that I gave Jared a course before we started this, and he has not touched it.
What are you talking about? If we're
Oh,
He already drank it.
drinking
Yeah.
Plot
yerba
twist.
mate, sponsor their podcast, please.
Yeah.
And then fucking Mike.
You guys send them to me.
kind of
We
shit is
will.
that?
We'll get you designing all kinds of
Get your
clothes for him.
percentage
Yeah, right, right.
And then put them in some
Mom
vintage
code.
furniture.
there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do the decor.
Right.
No, but are we gonna close it out here soon?
Yeah.
I do want to say something. I want to just say thanks for having us on here, and at the same time, like it was super great to see my little brother, and see what
100%.
he's doing. You know, like, damn, love this dude, and seriously, like I'm so like he says like he's follows me and he envies me and whatnot, but it goes right back to him. So, yo, for real, you're doing some real stuff, and it's really cool to see you like grow. For real.
Love that.
I'm
Thank
here
you.
to support. So
You made me
Yeah.
tear up. And now I'm gonna be crying while I'm peeing.
Oh,
Just leaves us
shit.
in the toilet.
but yeah, no, check out Yvonne and Mitchell, and then feel free to stop in at my booth, you know, at
Yeah.
Midway
Absolutely.
Antique Ball.
We can
Mall.
even.
Ball?
What are the geographical codes or whatever? What are those called?
Geotags?
No, like the latitude, longitude. We'll just throw that in the
Oh,
YouTube
yeah.
description.
Oh,
I mean, just
I was
type
about to say,
type
Like
in
the address or
like
something?
the antique store.
Oh, yeah,
we'll
no,
just fucking
throw it in there,
plot,
dude.
Yeah.
plot that
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Support all the other old ladies that are in there with
Yeah.
the booths, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They got some haunted shit in there, I'm sure too.
Yeah.
Dude, they got
So-
some unique stuff in there
I'm
for
gonna
real.
close this shit
But
out.
All right.
then, yeah.
I'm sweaty as hell.
All right,
It's
Moon
hot. Yeah,
is
it's hot.
sweating. I appreciate you guys being on the podcast. Maybe we'll do a round 2 sometime.
Oh, I'd love to.
I feel like we
Love
could talk
to.
for hours.
I'm
And
drunk and it is hot.
Okay, we'll start at 9 a.m.
I'm
9
drunk,
a.m.
it's hot.
I'll let them know.
Sweating.
I'll let them know the schedule.
You want
But
to take
yeah.
a thumbnail? Just come on.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Fuck.
for everybody watching, thanks for tuning in. You were watching the worst show, and we're out.
Yeah.
Bitch.
That was awesome.
Somebody take this goddamn thumbnail picture.
Oh yeah, we gotta take the
We
thumbnail.
gotta take the thumbnail.
We normally take a thumbnail picture on that camera.
Let me readjust though, because god